Higher on dividends here. I'm back to give another update to ULTY. What is ULTY? Well, if you go to the YieldMax website, obviously it's a YieldMax fund. If you click on the top, you can select under our ETFs. There's several options, but one of the options shows Ultra ETFs, and it's a party of one right now, being ULTY, the Ultra Option Income. So if you click on that, it'll bring you to the ULTY page, which says ULTY is an actively managed ETF that seeks to generate monthly income from a portfolio of covered call strategies, blah, 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 blah. So basically what it is, it's a fund to do whatever the hell you want, basically, right? It's a fund for YieldMax to do options on and pay us a high yield, an ultra high yield. So it's known to be a more aggressive fund. The website shows a distribution rate. Of course, it's based on the last payment and based on the current price. It shows 85.2%. And then here's some history of the distributions when they first launched. It looks like, actually, when did they launch? Let's see where that date is. That's further down probably. Fund incepted on February 28th, 2024. First payment was $1.06. Then $1.41, $1.27, $1.13. Then their first payment under $1 was in July, and they never went back. So it's gone down ever since. But the good news is they did change their strategy as of mid-October, and things did look and seem to be a little better since then. But yeah, long story short, ULTY is a different type of fund where they do options on whatever funds they want, really. And I'll show you that in a second. The expense ratio shows to be, the net expense ratio is 1.14%. The size of the fund is 278 mil. The NAV, the price, 872. Shares outstanding, 31.95. Okay. All right. That's it. So let's go to the spreadsheet. Actually, 31.95. Let's make sure my sheet shows that. Click on ULTY before I forget. Let me update that. If we go here to the last tab, 31.95, and then we'll go from there. Where is the market value? It's down here. Did I not add it? Guess I didn't. Well, we'll do that. We'll get to that. So anyway, wanted to show you post 10/15/24. I made a tab for this. And the reason I did is ULTY, they get a lot of hate. People hate ULTY. And the reason is they look at the inception to date price, which is around $20, and they compare that to today's price, $8.81, and they say, all right, this fund went down 50%. There's no way in hell I'm investing in it. However, they did make some changes to this prospectus, which allows them some more flexibility within the fund to do better. Now, they made that effective, I think, October 15th. But I started tracking the price as of 10/17 because that was after, the ex-dividend date after the change. So we'll start there. So 10/17, ULTY was $10. As of today, I'm recording this as of January 31st, and it's 11:38 a.m. Lunch break, of course, lunch break video. When else can you do the videos, right? Anyway, it's $8.82. So from October until now, which is almost February, we had a capital depreciation of $1.18. The fund has paid out $2.11 in total distributions, so that's a total return of 93 cents and a total return percentage of 9.32%. Okay? So, and that's over 106 days, which that's good, right? Total return, that's good. I think it is. I mean, some may not. And how did I get to 211, by the way, in the distributions? I added up the distributions that they have paid out since then. So again, I started tracking any distributions post 10/15. And we paid out November, December, and January. The yield at that time, The yield as for November, it was 101%, so very aggressive. And then December, it was 91%. And then January, it's 81%. So trending down for sure. So what are we going to get paid this month? Who the heck knows? But let's get into the holdings and let's get an idea of how the fund is doing. So here is a download of the holdings. And this is as of basically end of day the 30th. The date's going to show January 31st. But obviously it's, it reflects as of the close on 1:30. If this was updated for end of day 131, it would have, the Monday date, right? Which would be what? February 3rd, probably. All right. So anyway, what are they holding? Actually, let me zoom in. I can zoom in. There you go. This is probably too much, but what funds are they holding? Well, let's go through it. AMD, Kava, Celsius, Coherent Group, Coinbase, CrowdStrike, Dell, Trump Media and Technology Group, Elf Beauty Inc. There's a government bond. Hims and Hers, Health Inc. Intuitive Surgical Inc. Mara Holdings Inc. Meta Platforms Inc. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, man. Moderna Inc. Freaking Moderna. MicroStrategy Inc. Micron Technology. I'll stop with the Inc. Netflix, ServiceNow, NVIDIA, Palantir, Roku, Direction, Saxo, Symbotic, Talon Energy, Direction again, but this time TNA, all right. ProShares, TQQQ, Tesla, Upstart Holdings, Vertiv Holdings, and then some cash. Now, talk about diversification within one covered call ETF. I mean, wow. So, that being said, let's get into these holdings. So, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want this video to take forever, but you see like AMD, they actually physically own the shares. And they do that for every fund from what I can see. Now, what are they doing though? What are they doing? Well, if you look here and you see that the transaction, right, as a 2/7 expiration, that's next week, has a call of 130. And if you scroll to the right, you see the shares as negative. So if that's negative, that means they sold a call, all right? So they sold a call, strike price 130. Now, right down here, this is a put. Same expiration date. However, they chose a strike price below the 130, all right? And you can see it's a positive value under the shares. So this means they bought a put. So they sold a call for 130 strike price, bought a put, $100 strike price. So this is what they call, again, you want to get fancy with the names. I'm starting to make a little cheat sheet of strategies. This is called the protective collar. It means you own the shares, same expiration date, and you sell a call and buy a put. At least that's how I read it. I don't know if you guys care, but that's the name of it, right? The name really means nothing. It's just a matter of what exactly are they doing. So they own the shares. They sell calls out of the money, but they buy a put with the money and part of the credit that they get from the call. They buy a put to protect the downside, if that makes sense. So it'll probably make a little more sense if we scroll over to the right. So in the example of AMD, the current price of AMD is $118. If you see in column Q, I'll show you right here. And their call, all right, is 130. So this is still 9.97% out of the money. Again, and it expires next week. So that's looking pretty good. And then they have the $100 put. They bought a put, $100, right? Now, AMD is at 118. Oh, no, it's now at 117. Again, this is live updating because I'm doing this as the market's open on my lunch break. But if AMD goes under $100, which right now it's not really close, it's 14% away. If it goes under 100, though, we do have protection, right? And obviously, if it stays under 100, if it stays under 130, our call is profitable. It's a profitable position. However, if it does keep going down, since we own the underlying, we're going to go down with it, if that makes sense. All right. So that's AMD. Up next is Kava. Kava's price is 138. They sold a call for 135, so it's 2.24% in the money. That's not good. The protective put is useless because, again, it's not going down. In fact, the worst case is when the stock goes up, and it goes up above the strike price. And in this case, it is, right? So they're not going to let their shares get assigned. But what they will do is they'll cash settle the difference, right? So right now we have a gap of what? 138.10 versus, 135. I don't know what it was as of the close. So the prices may not, maybe a little different. But the price per share, right, as of the close is 660. Obviously, there's time value, so there's obviously the underlying price minus the strike price plus the time value. So that makes up where that comes from. All right, let's look at what is this? Celsius Holdings. They're at $25.97 current price. Strike price 26. They're only 0.12% out of the money. So this one's tight. Again, protective put of no use right now. This one has Coher, COHR, $93 price. Strike price of $86. This is blown through 8.23% out of the money. So again, unfortunately, they're going to lose out on any upside above the $86, and the protective put is a waste of money. These expire today, right? See the expiration date? They expire today. So this is this is us losing out on the capital appreciation, which really sucks. 8% capital appreciation, to be honest. And yeah, the put is just useless. So it's almost like in that example, should they have a credit call spread? Well, if it was tight enough, yeah, they could have helped. However, instead, they have a protective put. But this is what ULTY does. They have the option to choose what they need to do, and they think a protective put, basically in all scenarios, is a good idea. You guys could be the judge of that, though. I'm just explaining what's in here. Anyway, coin is at 302. They have a strike price of 300, so that's in the money, unfortunately, 0.7% in the money, and their protective put is useless. CrowdStrike, current price 406. They have a 410 strike price. It's 0.93% out of the money. It expires next Friday. We'll see how that goes, but not looking good. Dell's price is at 106. They sold a call at 112. That's 5.4% out of the money. So far, so good. Again, they're at 106. Their put, the protective put, doesn't look like it's needed. It's 15% away from the current stock price. Up next is DJT. DJT could do anything. $31 current price. They sold a call at $33. That's 3.87% out of the money. And again, you want to make sure it stays out of the money. If this number, if this is a negative percent, that means we're in the money. So far, so good. The protective put is $27, 15% away. Could be needed. You never know. DJT moves like a lot. ELF. What do we think about ELF? ELF has a 106 106 price. They sold a call $115, so that's 7% out of the money. Looking pretty good for next week. Hims and Hers, $35.95. They sold a call $35.50. That's 1.25% in the money. Not looking good. That's for next week. ISRG, $584. That's the current price. They sold a call at $580. This is in the money, 0.74%. So again, not a good spot, but the call does expire next week. So we'll see how that plays out. And again, if I don't mention the put, it means the protective put is not helping and it's not of use, or it at least does not look like it's going to be of use. Up next is Mara. Their current price of Mara is $19. They sold a call for $20, 5.21% out of the money, so that's looking pretty good. Meta, current price of Meta is $700. They sold a call $710. That expires today, January 31st. It's 1.42% out of the money, so this looks to be a profitable play. Again, the put is at $625, so that's not going to be worth a damn. Moderna, yay, Moderna. We got like our own Murney going in ULTY. I don't know why, man. Anyway, Moderna's at 41.03. They sold a call at 45.80, 10% out of the money, so that's looking pretty good. But hey, if you're going to have Moderna, at least they have a protective put, $37.50. Doesn't look to be of help, but again, that expires next week. MSTR, they are at 346.06. Strike price 370. That's 6.92% out of the money. It expires next week. However, earnings are next week, so anything can happen. And it's good to have the protective put over earnings. However, if it's good news and it flies past the 370, again, we're just going to miss out on all of that upside. MU is up $93. Strike price, obviously there's some type of issue with the formula. What is the strike? $100. Okay, so I'm probably pulling two, 5. Maybe I need to pull 6. Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right, so MU $93, sold a call, $100 strike price, 7% out of the money, expires next week. We'll see how that goes. Netflix, $984.84 is the current price. They sold a call at $980. That's 0.49% in the money. That's not good, but it expires next week. We'll see how it goes. Now is $1,031. They sold a call at the strike price of $1,030. That's 0.13% in the money. So, man, they're getting capped on a lot of crap here, and this is not good. I'm actually not happy with what I see so far. NVIDIA, let's see. The NVIDIA's price is $125. They sold a call for $130. That's 3.83% out of the money. That expires next week. Is that safe? I mean, I don't know. NVIDIA's been on a downtrend, so it's good to have a protective put on them. However, they could blow through the 130 at the same time. Hey, you can't play it every single way, every single direction. So they got to pick a side. It is unusual that every single thing has a protective, collar. So, why are we not changing things up on certain stocks? Are you saying you're bearish on every play? Like, are you saying that I don't know. How are you guys reading this? Anyway, up next is Palantir. Palantir is at $84. They sold a call at $79. That's 6.7% in the money. So unfortunately, as of right now, actually, that closes today. So we're really screwed. So that's a 6.7% upside miss right there, because they're going to have to cash settle whatever that difference is. So yes, Palantir play, not good. Roku, they're at $84. They sold a call at 86. That's 0.75% out of the money. That expires today. We'll see how that goes. Soxol. All right, Soxol has an underlying price of $28.68, and they sold a call at $28. That's 2.37% in the money. Again, in the freaking money. But, it expires next week at least, but still, man. God, how tight are these strikes? SYM, let's see how this is doing. Current price, $30. They sold a call at 31. That's 1.08% out of the money. Is that safe? It expires next week, so who the hell knows? TLN. What the hell is TLN? Talon Energy Corp. They're at 229. They sold a call, 240. That's 4.42% out of the money. They do have a protective put, but again, that's still 12.98% away from even being useful. TNA is at 46.12. They sold a call at 46. That's 0.26% in the money, but this expires next week. TQQQ, 86.39 is the current price. They sold a call at 85. That's 1.61% in the money again, but that expires next week. Tesla, 416.66 is their current price. They sold a call for 415. That's 0.4% in the money, and that expires next week. I assume, this was over earnings, so considering that, I'll give them a break on Tesla. Upstart, they're currently at 67.20. They sold a call at $68, 1.19% out of the money. That expires today, so hopefully they can close out a win right there. And then we got VRT, 119.66 is the current price. They sold a call at 115. That's 3.89% in the money. And that expires next week, so we'll see how that plays out. So, yeah, man. It's, like I said, it's quite interesting that they're doing protective puts on every single trade. I would like to see some, even though it would be more work for me, I would like to see some different stuff, right? Again, so you see a credit on the calls, that means they're sold the calls. You see a debit on the puts, that means they bought the put. And that's what I'm seeing on every single trade. And then, again, they also own the underlying on every single one. So since they own the underlying, of course, they're going up with the upside. But if they're selling calls, at a price that got capped, they have to cover the difference, all right? They're going to be capped on the upside, all right? Of course, they're going to be limited on the downside, but I'm not seeing that these puts are useful, right? It seems to me that we don't need protective puts on any of these, let alone all of these, on any of these. So I would hope that they revisit the strategy here and look to do different things. That's what I would like to see. Again, I do like the downside protection, and that's so ULTY doesn't go down anymore. However, pick and choose, man. Pick and choose certain ones. That being said, let's go through the IVs. Let's see what kind of IVs these suckers got, because that's what it's all about. The nice, juicy premium. All right, AMD has an IV of 57%. Kava, 61%. Celsius, 79%. Coherent, 76%. Coinbase, why is it not? Is that updated here? Oh, there's no formula. There you go. What the hell? Whatever, man. Coinbase, 77%. CrowdStrike, 44%. Really? That's it? Dell Technologies, 61%. DJT, 82%. Elf, your favorite movie, 82%. HIMS, 98%. ISRG, this is the Intuitive Surgical. It's all, what? 21%? Why the hell? I don't know. Was this an earnings play? Why is this even in here? Mara Holdings, 90%, like that one. Meta, man. What do they got? They got a 625 protective put. Like, why? It's Meta. I don't know, man. It's a good week to have it with this freaking China app thing, but obviously it's not worth it. Anyway, Meta's 30% IV. Moderna, 83% IV. MSTR, 87% IV. MU, 49% IV. Netflix, 25% IV. Again, I don't need protective put on Netflix. How far down is Netflix going to go? It's not going to hurt us. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Don't make me hate on you now, ULTY. All right, now it's 32% IV. NVIDIA, 74% IV. Palantir, 81% IV. Roku, 77% IV. Saxo, 93% IV. SYM, 98% IV. TLN, 69% IV. TNA, love this one, 56% IV. TQQQ, 54% IV. I mean, add UPRO. If you're going to add all the indexes, you got two of the three. Add UPRO. Come on, man. Tesla, 53% IV. Upstart, there we go. There's the IV, 114% IV of Upstart. Again, are they a crappy company? I don't know. And then we got VRT, 80% IV, and cash. No, we don't want the actual cash IV. It's obviously a fund that we could delete this too, because cash is actual cash. It's not the cash fund. All right. Anyway, with all of those IVs, it's a 68% average IV. Okay. So what does that mean for you? Well, that means that you can take that into consideration when trying to calculate what they're going to pay. Also, before we get into the estimate of ULTY, which I will give you my estimate as of today, their average percent out of the money, that actually shows 8.54%, huh? Oh, that's because it uses the freaking puts. You know what? I got to take them out. Yeah. If P... Yeah, the problem is, we can't use that average because I was doing puts as if they sold puts. So this is the out of the money on sold puts. But again, everything's a freaking buy. So we do have to keep that into consideration. So we can't use the average percent out of the money. But for the most part, the average is going to be in the money because they're not doing, too great there. All right, whatever. All right, so that being said, the average implied volatility is 68%, all right? ULTY is at 881. That's the current price. So if we use their IV, the IV is 68%. You multiply that by the current price of 881, and you divide that by $13. I'm sorry, 13 payments. You get 46 cents to be the distribution. However, I'm not done. That is not my guesstimate. My guesstimate goes a little further. I go down here. I use the November payment. The November payment was 101% yield. December was a 91% yield, and January was an 81% yield. Now, what am I doing? So I'm taking the average of the current IV, which is 68%, and then of these three IVs here, which were the prior three payments, and I get the average of 85%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say they're going to pay us a yield of 85%. Why? Well, because again, it's very active fund. So I'm not just going to simply say they're going to pay us the IV, the average IV. I'm going to say that they're going to pay us a little more. And how I get that little more is averaging, the yields over the prior payments and come up with an average yield of 85%. So using an average yield of 85%, I multiply that by the current price of ULTY, and then I divide it by 13. So my guesstimate for February is 58 cents. Okay? That is my guesstimate. Will this be the guesstimate on Sunday? I don't know. It depends on the price of ULTY. Again, ULTY, the market's still open, so ULTY price can change. Right now it's 12 o'clock, so ULTY price can still change. But whatever the close is, I'm still going to use the same exact calculation, and that'll be the number that I plug into the sheet for Sunday for the guesstimate. Obviously, if you watch the video just for the ULTY guesstimate, then you probably don't have to now, right? You got it all right here. However, I would recommend you watching it because why not, right? Because I want you to. How's that? Is that good? Anyway, no, but for real. So that's the guesstimate for ULTY, and that's the coverage of ULTY. I know people ask me, are you going to cover ULTY? Are you going to cover ULTY? My answer is I will, to my best ability, at a minimum every 4 weeks. And that's when their distribution typically comes up. Sometimes I'll do it earlier in the week. This week, for example, I did on the Friday because I got it most of it done in the morning right before work, and then at lunchtime I finished it, and here I am recording the video, and I'll post it this afternoon, and then you guys will have it to watch whenever you please. All right, so that's the update on ULTY. I want to know what you guys think of them doing protective puts, or what's the fancy name? Here we go. Protective collar on every single freaking fund. I mean, are you a fan of that? Or it seems like they're just scared of ULTY going down. I don't want to play the scared game, to be honest. I want to play, some upside here. Like, if you're going to spend the money buying something, right? I want some of these, maybe you buy a call that's a little further past the strike, just in case it gets blown through, right? Because some of these got blown through. And again, let's go to the out of the money. We need the call in the picture, though. There we go. We'll get these columns in. All right, we still want the ticker. Sorry for the zoomage. So here, right? Let's see. Look for the negatives out of the money. Did I pass it? Yeah. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of the funds, I don't know how many funds, but this is probably at least half or more than half. 12 funds in the money. That's not good. That's not good. So it's time to start thinking, all right, maybe we're not in a bearish market. Maybe we're in a bullish market. Maybe some of these funds are, like this one, AMD, the underlying value is near a 52-week low. Hello? 4.47% away from the 52-week low. Why are we buying puts? Are we not low enough? I mean, this is come on, man. Look at this one. 2% away from the 52-week low. Bro, 26. Oh, my God. A lot of these are near the 52-week low. And the highs I could see, like Palantir, okay. But it's Palantir. You still never know. I don't know, man. Again, I love ULTY, but they gotta like make it a little more interesting, Try a little harder. Do different strategies. Don't do the same damn strategy over and 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 over. But my thinking is we don't need protected puts on every single damn trade. All right. I like selling calls on everything, but maybe why not just switch it up? Why not do the either don't buy a put at all, or if you're gonna buy something, make it a credit call spread that's close to the strike, so we can get the full upside. Or why not just do something completely different and just buy a call, do a leap, right? Use the money that you're getting from the credit and buy a leap on a stock. I don't know, just do something different that I wouldn't normally do. Like whatever they're doing now, is it worth me? Is it worth paying? I mean, the part that's worth it is there's a lot of funds and they are active. That's the part that's worth it. They have intraday trades every single day, so they are earning their money like activity-wise. However, strategy-wise, come on, man. Again, I'm still going to give it time. I'm in no rush to leave this. Definitely not. In fact, I do want to give it the full year, October to October. But we'll see how things go. And I want to get your guys' opinion. What do you guys think of ULTY? Are you happy? And yeah, it's at $8, but obviously they started at 10 since the new strategy. So $8 is not that bad. $8.81 actually. So and maybe it has something to do with the protective puts. I don't know. I haven't really, from what I can tell, at least right now, they're not of use. But maybe they were of use previously. I don't know. But either way, let me know some feedback, what you guys think of ULTY, and be honest. Feel free. I don't care if it's negative or positive. I just want some input. But as always, of course, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, I'll try again next time. Again, I'll do this again in like 4 weeks. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. Again, sometimes these videos it take a decent amount of time to prep up, and obviously time to record it and this and that. So if you do enjoy it, please hit the like button. It does go a long way, and I do greatly appreciate it. Of course, like I said, if you have any questions or concerns or want to give your opinion on ULTY, please leave that down in the comments below. Outside of that, I got nothing except I just wanted to say thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Later.